Good morning, everybody. It's always great to be back in Berlin. As you heard from Wolfgang, Air Berlin is making outstanding progress in a tough aviation market. And being here today is our endorsement of the Air Berlin business model and how we see the airline playing a valuable role here, not only in Germany, but in the European market. For Etihad Airways, we continue to grow. We're now 10 years old. In 2013, we turned over $5 billion US. In 2014, we'll be a $7 billion company. We're the fastest growing airline in the history of commercial aviation. Today, we operate 89 aircraft, and we operate to over 102 passenger and cargo destinations, 200 flights a day. Last year we just carried over nearly 12 million passengers. So we're very focused in the type of business model that we're building. And our business model is about partnership. I've been on record that I believe the traditional alliances are fractured. And we're seeing that if we take a close look at what's happening across the alliances today. As a business, we're very focused on how we build from Abu Dhabi a global network that reaches all parts of the globe. I don't have a mandate to create the world's largest airline. I have a mandate to create a smart airline that is safe, that is best in class, and makes money. And that's the same for our partner airlines. Our strategy is very clear, that we work through organic growth. At the recent air show in Dubai, we signed an agreement for aircraft from 2020 out to 2040, and that transaction also covered our equity partners, which includes Air Berlin. So you'll continue to see Etihad Airways in its own right continue to grow. Simultaneously, we'll continue to work through code share relationships with a range of airlines that are members of One World, Star, SkyTeam, and also other airlines that are not aligned, where airlines see the value in strong bilateral cooperation, but also will continue to build what we call our equity alliance, of which Air Berlin is a foundation member. And the Equity Alliance partners enable us to stretch our network globally. And these investments aren't for the short term, they're for the long term. They're part of a very clear strategy over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years to build a network where the guest, the consumer, when we look at the changing behavior and how people will purchase moving forward, through digital strategies, can link into a network. So with Air Berlin, we have a gateway over Dusseldorf. We operate in our own right to Frankfurt and Munich, and obviously Air Berlin operates over Abu Dhabi. With Air Seychelles, which gives us the base in the Indian Ocean, which enables us to not only operate between Abu Dhabi and the Seychelles, but all the Indian Ocean airlines, and the ability to use Air Seychelles aircraft to open up new markets such as Hong Kong. Virgin Australia enables us with Air Berlin to link to 45 cities in Australasia and New Zealand. We operate every day to Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and in May we'll operate to Perth. So from Berlin, Dusseldorf, Abu Dhabi, we open up the Australasia region, which is very important for the German market. We're just in the final stages of closing the transaction with Jet Airways, the largest independent airline in India. 40 million Indians each year travel internationally. Today, we operate to 10 Indian cities from Abu Dhabi. In the future, that will open up to 24 cities from Abu Dhabi into India with Jet Airways. But also at the same time, we said Jet Airways and Air Berlin operating with between Germany and India as we start to link the network. Aer Lingus will incorporate not only out of Dublin to Abu Dhabi, but also transatlantic. Air Serbia gives us an opportunity to open up the Balkans region. The largest expatriate Serbian markets are Australia, Germany, and the USA. And with code-share, we've already linked Air Serbia, Etihad, and Air Berlin. And Darwin Airlines, later this week, will be rebranded Etihad Regional, which gives us the opportunity to develop small niche carriers where the brand is unknown into a network. And this is all about a different playbook. How do we, as Etihad Airways, position in Abu Dhabi with Emirates and Qatar on either side of us? How do we compete in a changing global market? And the key to success isn't about buying brands. It's about all the carriers within the group moving to sustainable profitability. And we achieve that through scale. You know, when we sit down with Boeing and Airbus, our discussions are about 500 aircraft. When we discuss with General Electric and Rolls-Royce, the type of deals we're able to achieve as a group become better. Because as you know, it's all about volume, it's about unit cost. The flip side is we also achieve higher productivity. We look at our assets right across the world to improve our business performance. And for our guest, for our customer, it's more choice. It's more choice. And what we're seeing moving forward, when you look at the results that Wolfgang mentioned, is that we're delivering in Abu Dhabi and we're also delivering in Germany as both businesses continue to reshape and look at how they achieve their objectives. And when we look at our revenues as a group, 20% of our revenues of a $5 billion company come from our equity partners. So for us, we had a choice 4 years ago. Do we invest in more aircraft to become a large competitive carrier, or is it more effective to work in partnership to open up new markets and build an equity alliance? And that's the path we've chosen. And when we reflect on our progress to date, all the gates that we endeavoured to tick off have certainly been achieved. For Germany, it means we invest in Germany. We've created our head office for Europe in Berlin. We've continued to build the number of flights between Germany and Abu Dhabi, Berlin daily, Düsseldorf twice a day with both Air Berlin and Etihad, Frankfurt 14, and we're moving to double daily from Munich. We employ many German nationals within the business. But as important is the relationship between the United Arab Emirates and Germany. It's a strong trade relationship. Over 1,000 German companies in the UAE and over 12,000 nationals in the UAE. So the relationship between government to government is very strong. People continue to look at our positioning in Germany and ask the question, why did you invest in Air Berlin? We invested in Air Berlin because we obviously saw the potential. The largest outbound market of Europe is Germany. 33 million passengers in a market that is constrained. Now what appealed to us in Air Berlin, they in fact carry more passengers than British Airways. The size of the market, the scope of the business in Europe was a no-brainer for us to enter into the partnership. The airline is well positioned. The connectivity that we bring strengthens both airlines. And many people have said, as we work through the turbine project, what is the commitment of Etihad Airways to Air Berlin? Quite simply, it's a long-term strategic investment. We're going nowhere. We're here to work with the management team of Air Berlin as Wolfgang and his team work on the challenges of restructuring in a tough European market But the long-term goals we see very clearly. As an airline, excuse me, it must be the fresh air. As a partnership, we continue to develop into each other's network the passengers that we expect. We see the growth. As Wolfgang mentioned, we expand the network, the code-share portfolio. The benefits from a revenue term perspective have been exceeded. Over 200 million in revenues for both carriers versus 100 million the year before. But what people don't see is the other areas of activity. In fleet, in sales and marketing, in procurement, and this is a key metrics that we work with all our equity partners. So whether it be Virgin Australia, Jet Airways, Air Serbia, Air Berlin, behind the scenes we have teams looking at all these blocks within this matrix. So what does that mean? It means that we continue to build network relationships. In restructuring Air Serbia, we in fact use Air Berlin, part as a management team, to be able to refleet Air Serbia from 737s to Airbus aircraft. We bring our skills together and how we upgrade areas such as IT, safer technology, procurement, and as Wolfgang mentioned, when you look at the new business class product on Air Berlin, that is also the Etihad Airways business class product. Sales and marketing, how we work, the travel management companies, the tour operators, the frequent flyer program is all about cooperation. We have now 50 Air Berlin pilots seconded to Etihad Airways. There was a surplus of pilots, so instead of making people redundant, they joined Etihad for a period of 3 years with the choice to come back. We're both taking 787 aircraft, common training, common procurement, right across the board. And the partnership will continue to grow with Air Berlin, with Air Serbia, with Etihad Airways, with Etihad Regional across Europe. And to build this type of relationship, certainly it's how we cement the relationship. We invested $105 million US to acquire our stock in Air Berlin. We recouped that back in the first 6 months. So the focus for us, have no doubt, is clearly a long-term relationship. A long-term relationship for Etihad Airways with Air Berlin, in this city, as Air Berlin continues to build in the rest of Germany, in Düsseldorf, over Frankfurt, over Munich. Network-wide, we'll continue to build with Air Berlin. It's a great airline. Passionate people, innovative airline, important for the city of Berlin. We're here to stay, and so are they. As an airline, we continue to grow over the coming years. By 2020, we will carry, as Etihad Airways, over 25 million passengers a year, 27,000 employees. We'll be operating over 200 aircraft to 120 major business and leisure destinations, and a profitable and sustainable business. Profitability, sustainable, as important to Air Berlin as it's important to us. And I'm delighted to be able to work with Wolfgang to build the relationship between both our respective companies to deliver on success together. So Wolfgang, back to you.